amount of information is staggering. It is really in-depth. It's very complicated, and it's something that you need to know about. So we are working on an entire week of Blackboard shows on this, and we're going to do it soon, and we'll dig into all of it, and you need to know. But today, I want to focus on the news that broke last night that this guy, sorry I didn't have a flashbulb available, this guy is an FBI informant who has just been released from his non-disclosure, and he can finally now come out into the light and testify to Congress. This informant was sent in to monitor the Russians surrounding the Uranium One deal back in 2009. Uranium One, this is a Russian company that Vladimir Putin, the Impaler, wanted to own. He wanted to make it federal. He wanted to make it Russian. So despite all the illegal activity he witnessed between then and October 2010, the committee, under her watchful eye, chose to approve the sale. Now keep in mind, the investigation didn't end at that time. It went on for another 4 years. To this day, we still don't know if the FBI ever told the committee members of the results of their investigation. Now, if you happen to be curious, Robert Mueller, he's now the special counsel in charge of the Trump-Russia case. He was the director of the FBI when they started the investigation. Yeah. And then James Comey, he's the director of the FBI when the investigation formally closed in 2015. Now we get to the fun stuff. What was driving this deal? Illegal activity was clearly taking place. The FBI knew it. The Russians were caught red-handed. And despite all of the evidence, something was pushing this along. I wish I could put my finger on it. I just don't know what it was. What could it have been? In 2015, the New York Times documented how Bill Clinton, I did not take Russian money from that woman. Yeah, actually you did. Bill Clinton collected hundreds of thousands of dollars in Russian speaking fees. The Clinton Foundation collected millions of dollars in donation, all while Hillary Clinton presided on the committee that approved the sale. Now, the story pretty much died until Trump brought it back up during the campaign, and most of this has been pushed aside as a conspiracy theory by the Clintons. But that brings us back to the guy in the shadows, the FBI informant. If anyone knows what's going on, it's this guy. Now, he could have told Congress everything that happened during his 5 years undercover, but why didn't he? The answer is simple, ridiculous, and frightening. The Obama administration had him under a gag order. Now, I want you to know we're talking about uranium, one of the most important things that we have as a nation. You can't make nuclear weapons without uranium. They now own 20% of all of our uranium. That gag order was lifted last night. After years of being held silent, the DOJ finally cleared the guy in the shadows to speak to Congress. His attorney went on Fox this week to give a few clues on what might come to light in the very near future. Watch.
Weigh for us the impact of what he does know and what you may have learned from him.
Well, I don't want to get in the business of my violating an NDA.
No, I wouldn't ask you for any specific.
But I think it's quite significant. He can tell what all the Russians were talking about during the time that all these bribery payments were made.
Bribery payments. What could those be? We know that Russia's state corporation, Overseas Nuclear Energy, began the process through Putin of purchasing Uranium One back in 2009. Later that year, Uranium One, through a charity, donated $1 million to the Clinton Foundation. That's convenient, but it didn't stop there. In 2010, the same group made another donation to the Clinton Foundation for $250. Then, in June 2010, Bill Clinton whisked out to Moscow to give a speech for $500,000, which was paid for by these guys, linked to the Kremlin. Now, they're just not linked to Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin. They had analysts at the time out in the press talking up Uranium One stock. calling the company the best play in the uranium markets. They were trying to get people to pay attention to Uranium One. In 2011, what a surprise, yet another. The Russians, they love children. They must. Look at this. $600,000. In 2012, another $500,000 donation. My gosh, they love us. They really love us. Because added together, that's $3 million. Is this the cost of the Russian reset? Overcharged does come to mind. And this isn't a conspiracy theory. All of this was reported on that very right-wing newspaper called the New York Times 2 years ago. But the Obama administration had the gag order preventing anyone from following up on key witnesses. So the questions are, were Obama and Clinton so desperate to reset relations for us with Russia that they were willing to give away 20% of our uranium production? Or were they willing to look away while illegal activity was going on because it was the right thing for the American people? Or was somebody just changing money and they didn't really care about you, me, our uranium, or anything else? They were just taking the cash. A former FBI informant may hold all of the answers. I wonder how his health is. It's coming soon to a congressional hearing near you.